Hey everyone, it's Emily here from Phoenix Gateway, and I'm here to bring you a reading for the week starting the 17th of June to the 23rd. Tomorrow here in Melbourne at about 6:30 at night, so it may change a little bit for those overseas, which it may be, actually it's probably still the same day, but it will be early in the morning. We have a full moon in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius, we know as Sag, they point their arrows and they shoot. It is a fire sign. And before I started this video, I've just sort of sat with this energy because I'm trying to understand, how do I put it into perspective? How do I understand it for the way in which I've personally been feeling as well with these energies? And I've really found myself, I've been finding actually a lot of my own, like anger coming to the surface, and things that have irritated me coming to the surface that I've allowed to irritate me. And I think to myself, why? What is going on? And I just have to sit and reflect, and allow and dissipate that anger. But as with the Sag pointing the arrow and shooting, it's exactly what I know I personally need to do, and maybe there are many others out there in the same boat as myself. But it's about pointing that arrow and, with the intention of releasing all this shit that I'm holding on to, or that I've allowed to, that pent-up anger that I've allowed to be a part of my makeup right now. And as I sit here, it's been a lot easier, but I've been able to go, you know what, I just need to let it all go and get on with it. So it's about release and really setting my intention right now for what I'm going to be creating and really putting out there. For me in particular right now, business is really at the forefront, but for others, there will be other things that are at the forefront, whether, it's just with yourself, the work that you've been doing with yourself. Maybe it's to do with relationships within your family or with business partners. And it could be, multiple different reasons to what it is that your intention is for releasing, and then what it is that you're going to start working with. So I'm actually going to start shuffling as I talk. And so what I like to do, and what I've found I do, and I don't do it every time, but when I've got a lot on my plate, and look at that, they're all flying out. And that's really interesting because just to look at that top card, I'm going to put them back, but this is all about relationships. So there's a big part of me that actually, even though I said it's about, for me, a lot is about business, it's still about my relationship with myself, because I am still still working on those aspects of me that still need to be ironed out. And I have to come to peace with it, because by sitting in those energies, in those lower vibrations, it's not going to help me in any which way really go for what I need to do and what I need to achieve, or what I've set in my head. So as I was saying, one of the things I really like to do, and it's when there is a lot on my mind, is I like to write everything down on paper. And at the end of it, I like to also use Ho'oponopono, which is, please forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you, I love you. And I really find I get a lot out of it when my focus is on those few small sentences. Please forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you, I love you. And it's the repetition of it that we keep doing and doing and doing, to the point where we go, you know what, I've released it. I write all that down within my intention as I'm still saying it within my head. And then what I really like to do is burn it, because for me, and actually even better because it is also a full moon in Sag, which is a fire sign, just to be able to burn and release those energies is really, really, really satisfying. So let's have a look at what these cards are telling us this week. Okay. This week, I know it's going to be a really busy week. I actually had to take some time out last week because it was, we had Mind, Body, Spirit Festival in Melbourne the weekend before, or it finished just on a week ago, and energetically it's like knocks you out off your socks. But it was absolutely fantastic. Met some absolutely awesome people through that event, and yeah, it was just wonderful, wonderful networking. And with my products, so whether it be my cards or my liquid alchemy in a bottle, that you can purchase off my website, so those links will be below. And also there's still the trip to Egypt and Jordan coming up this October, which is very exciting as well. Now, no cards now want to fly out, so now I'm just going to pull a few cards and see what they have to say. And pull them from the top. Okay. So the first card to come through, which you couldn't see there, is the 396. It's releasing fear and guilt, and we're releasing what we know no longer serves, what we're holding on to, and how beautiful, considering it's this full moon energy that we are now in and we are experiencing. So, you know, as I was talking about my anger and holding on to it, this, whether, you know, this is all part of what needs to be released. So one of the things I can do is I can listen to this frequency 396, which is readily available on the internet, or it's about, I can sit with this card and just that understanding, that knowing that I know what I need to let go of at this present moment. Okay. Dreamweaver. I'll just pull a couple of cards. Grounding. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. This 396. I want another card for Dreamweaver, and then I will talk about the other cards there. Dreamweaver. Don't read these upside down. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so what it is we have here. So the 396, as we said, this is all about our release. This is what we're doing right now. It's everything that I've already spoken about in this video up till now. The second card that came through is Dreamweaver. And Dreamweaver is about laying our foundations, and it's about manifesting. And, you know, it's so important that we release that fear. We release the guilt that we hold on to. We release those blocks, because if we hold on to those blocks, then we're going to stagnate our ability to actually manifest our intentions and our desires of what we really want to create in our life, what we really want to create right now. And, you know, when we're working with energy it's so powerful when we come to working with anything energy related, and everything is energy. Everything is energy. So our thoughts, our intentions, our words are all power, and they all hold a frequency. So let's look at releasing what no longer serves, so that we can manifest and create the foundations. We then have to ground and anchor what it is that we want to manifest into our lives. And, you know, we also want to make sure that as we are grounding and anchoring what it is with it for our foundations, that we are actually anchoring ourselves energetically as well, because we can't all be up in the air. We really, really need to also anchor ourselves here to create the momentum, to create that flow. So on 396 also came out Raven Magic, and Raven is all about magic. Raven is all about protection. And when Raven itself comes out, Raven is talking about It is one of the master cards of my deck. And we've got the 7-pointed star, or the septagram, or the fairy star. And really, when I created this card, it was all about this, you know, with this particular geometry. It is something that is already set in motion, and it is continually spinning. And you know, with the raven, we have the raven, with raven we have protection. With raven we have releasing fear. We're also heightening our intuition. And I feel that, you know, as we're coming into this full moon as well, one of the other thing, like I drew a few cards for myself and a friend the other day and said to him, you know, let's let this be a general read between the two of us. And what really came out through the cards, through the different frequencies that were coming out, was all about heightening our intuition. So it's really about listening and going with our gut feel, and, you know, stop second guessing ourselves. I think I'm talking to myself right now. Stop second guessing ourselves and really go with that gut feel. Really let go of that fear, because we're going from the darkness and we're coming into the light. And really the only way is into that light. We want to release the darkness that, you know, that we've been in. We want to release the darkness of fear. We want to release the darkness of guilt. And, you know, we need these as part of our journey, as part of our lessons, to actually know that we've got to go to that next stage. Okay, on Dreamweaver, the other card that I pulled on Dreamweaver is Unlimited Potential. So, you know, Dreamweaver is all about manifesting our everything that we desire, and creating those foundations. Unlimited Potential, which is the truncated icosahedron, which is the same shape as that of our DNA, and that of shungite as well, which makes shungite so special, the C60 carbon. But with this particular shape, when it comes to our DNA, it's telling us that we can create. We are the master creators of our destiny and all of that which we desire. And, you know, if you listen to Dr. Bruce Lipton speak, whom I absolutely love listening to, you know, and we listen to epigenetic, he talks a lot about epigenetics. And what he's saying is that we can actually change, you know, the genes. We can change the molecular structure at our DNA, and we can change the way in which ultimately we end up thinking, the physical aspects of ourselves, free ourselves from dis-ease, you know, from a mental, the emotional, the physical aspects on all levels of self. And it all does come down to that epigenetics. So, you know, this card is saying that we do have that unlimited potential. We can create the changes we want to see within ourselves. So this is saying that you are the master of your destiny. You create what it is, you know, for your foundations. We're talking about grounding and anchoring, and this is one of my new cards that has now come out. So we haven't pulled this card yet, but this is one of the solfeggio frequencies, and it's the 285. And 285, 2 plus 8 plus 5 compounded equals a 6. And if you were to actually turn the numbers around, you would find they are the 528, which is the miracle frequency. And, you know, it's all about transformation and miracles. But when we're looking at the 285, we're looking at it for optimum health and well-being. And, you know, showing ourselves how much we are loved, how much we, you know, our bodies are our temples. It's all about looking after ourselves on every level. So for us to be able to create, there's, you know, this amazing journey that we are on right now to bring through all the unlimited potential that we can bring through to create our foundations as we let go of releasing fears, these fears, the guilts that we hold on to, and we bring our bodies into that optimum level, because as we bring ourselves into optimum our levels, it also means that we are going to thrive on all levels of our being, you know, mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. Really pretty, really beautiful reading, this one. So I might just pull one last card. I'd like to see what else. Oh, there you go. There's a couple that have thrown, blah, 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 that have flown out. Okay, so again, this is actually another Raven card, but this card is protection. It's about safeguarding yourself as we are going through these incredibly intense changes energetically. It is really, really important that we protect our energy, because we can become more susceptible, and with, you know, everything going on in this outside world as well, it's making us a lot more vulnerable, and a lot of us are really, really starting to feel the effects of, you know, even the 5G that's starting to come through. And I do have to bring that up, because, you know, it is affecting us on all levels, emotionally and physically. Emotionally, physically, mentally, all of it, spiritually, all of it. So, you know, as we said, our body's our temple. It's about bringing ourselves to optimal well-being as best we can. And, you know, I'm actually going to say, considering I've also brought up the issue with 5G and that protection, this card, this is the C60, which is the C60 carbon, the fullerenes, the Bucky, the C60, the Buckyballs, Buckminster Fuller was the one that, with his geodesic domes. Anyway, this is shungite, and I highly, highly recommend, if there was any stone anyone should own, especially in this day and age, it is shungite. Not only has it been proven as a physical, a stone for physical health, it is definitely one to use against electromagnetic fields. And then the last card that came through is expansion. And expansion is evolving and expanding. And it's all related to Fibonacci as well. It is that expansion that happens in nature. And it's what the expansion that happens, you know, within ourselves, because we are pure geometry. And, you know, it's inevitable, the expansion we're going to go through, but how you expand, the rate at which you expand to get to where you want to be is truly up to you. And you're either going to fight it and you're going to make it a lot harder on yourself, or you're going to go with it. You're going to go with the flow. And, you know, I learned this so many times, even within myself. You know, you got to have that bit of control. You got to try and make this happen and make it work the way you want it. But you know what? We aren't all in control. And when we do let go of wanting to you know, to control the way things develop, you will find that so many new doors open up for you. And, you know, it will probably get, whatever it is, will fix itself or get done faster than it would trying to hold on to what you can no longer control yourself. So, really, really beautiful cards of this week. Very strong messages in terms of release, guilt, fear. It's about, you know, stepping out of the darkness into the light. It's the protection. It's about building our foundations. It's about knowing that we have the unlimited potential to create the world we want to live in, to be the person we want to live in, to be the person that we want to be. And knowing that we still need to ground and anchor these energies, as well as ground and anchor ourselves, because we need to have, you know, the as above, so below. But it's also knowing that our body is our temple, and we have to look after it for optimal health and well-being at all times. Because you know what? Expansion, it's inevitable, and it's happening. whether we like it or not. And you know, this full moon, Monday 17th, is going to be absolutely awesome, and it's time to let it all go, let go what just does not serve, and just have that intention, you know, like the Sagittarius and shooting an arrow. It's time to shoot that arrow and aim it straight at what you want to achieve in this lifetime. Have an absolutely amazing full moon and an amazing week wherever you are. Nurture yourself, be gentle with yourself, and just show yourself a lot of love. We'll speak soon. Okay, bye.